Hi, my name is Jessica King, and I am an instructor at Affinity English Academy in Tokyo, Japan. Today, we're going to be talking about strategies for the TOEFL speaking section, particularly tasks 1, 2, and 5. As you may know, tasks 1, 2, and 5 require you to take a personal position and to give your opinion on a particular topic. In this situation, many people find it difficult to support their position, but one of the best ways to do this is by giving personal examples. So, today we're going to discuss what we like to call the Cinderella story approach. In this approach, you set yourself as Cinderella and you tell a story in which you support your position with your own experiences. So, to demonstrate this, we're going to give a sample answer to this question. Describe a memorable event that occurred when you were a child. Obviously, there are many things you can choose, but today I'm going to talk about an experience I had with my family. A memorable event that occurred when I was a child was a family trip that I took to Hawaii. So, after stating my position, what I will do is then immediately describe the setting. When I was in junior high school, my family and I went to Hawaii. In this case, describing the setting began with when I was in junior high school. Now, if you want to be more specific, that's perfectly okay. Maybe it's something that happened to you last year or last week. Maybe you remember the exact date, in 2011. Any information you can give about when is going to be useful. Now, in this situation, I also described where, because the setting was appropriate. I took a family trip to Hawaii. You can imagine that a trip to Hawaii is probably going to be memorable. Now, you also heard me in my sentence do the second thing, which was introducing the characters. I took a family trip to Hawaii. My family went. Now, because you don't know exactly who my family is, it's probably good for me to give a little more information. My father, brother, and mother went together. So, I've introduced the characters. Who was involved? So, that's all the information that we need in the beginning, because the most important part is coming next, explaining what happened. In this case, it's helping the listener to understand why it was memorable. So, you want to include details about what was memorable about the situation. So, when I was in Hawaii, I went scuba diving with my father. It was a very memorable experience because I didn't really spend a lot of time with my father at that time. He was very busy at work, so this was one of the first times we were able to spend time together. So, after we talk about this, it's good to give some information about how it made you feel. So, we've talked about the what, now let's see how it made you feel. This was a really exciting time for me because it was the first time I was able to understand what my father was like outside of work. Just a little bit of information about your feelings goes a very long way. So, the final thing we want to do, and the reason we call it the Cinderella story, is we want to give information about it being a happy ending. So, I would conclude my answer by saying, this was particularly memorable to me and wonderful because I was able to get to know my father as a person. And after this, we began to spend more and more time together. Today, my father is one of my best friends. Now, in some situations, your answer is not going to have a happy ending. Some of the questions don't set you up for a happy ending. So, if you need to give a sad ending, that's okay too. Just make sure what you choose is relevant to the question that you're being asked.